Hi, it's Rich from Loen.Design. Today we're going to build a closet door for, we just renovated a house and we have a bedroom where we didn't want a door that opened into the room, took up too much room in the closet if you went the other way. So we wanted a sliding door. We found a really cool mechanism where the whole thing is hidden behind the door and you never ever see the tracks or anything. So it's a beautiful, beautiful system. It's elegant for something like a bedroom. We glued up some walnut and put a pattern on it with the CNC. It came out looking fantastic. We're really, really happy with it, and it looks great in the room that it's in. So let's see how we built that door.
One at a time.
Okay.
Okay, do this one. Now this. Here we go.
Don't screw it in.
Don't screw it in?
I don't have a screw. You're the only one.
Okay.
So.
All right. And are you ready for that?
Well, not quite. How much have you got? Okay. I'm ready. Some of these are...
Yeah, I noticed that.
CNCing the pattern on the door, we did it with a roughing pass and then a finishing pass. And that worked out great. The thing is, when you're working with a project and you do the roughing pass and then it works okay, and now you're doing the finishing pass, and you get to a point where you've got some time and effort into the whole project, and you get to a point where you really don't want it to screw up. So we're going to do this finishing pass, then we're going to do the hole for the knob,
Yeah.
and then flip it this way and that way so that the top is down there, and we'll do the groove for the top. I'm telling everybody I can the steps of operation. The more people I tell,
We can say, wait a second.
the more chance I remember it.
Yeah.
I'm learning by repetition. One of the interesting things that we did was we built a knob for the door, and I decided to do it on the CNC using the 4th axis. Vectric software has a nice toolpath for putting a square block in, rounding it off. It's a little bit bizarre how it works to turn it into a cut path. You take a 3D shape like that and turn it into a rotary cut path. And what I did then was finish it on the lathe to sand it, just sort of get a nice polish on it. And we happen to have a precise 2-inch hole in the door that it goes into. It's for it to fit. It comes right down to a sharp edge. The main door piece warped a bit, and then we had to go in and flatten it in the CNC. But then the resulting door has just been a bit too thin for my taste. So what I'm doing is putting in some pieces around the outside, which is where we're going to be putting in some braces like these. I want to embed these in so that this surface is flush with the top of this. And if I tried to do that with the main board, it would interfere with the pattern we put on the other side of this board. This stuff has a pleasant smell, and after half an hour, I hate the smell. But
I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it's working for me.
And try to leave like just where I touched it, try to leave it a little dry,
Okay.
just so we have an area to
Like
glue.
go around here.
Yeah. We used Rubio Monocoat to finish this job. And you apply Rubio Monocoat, you rub it on with a rag and then let it sit for 5 minutes, and then you wipe it all off. And that gives a nice finish. And what's nice is that it's almost instant. For somebody doing YouTube videos and whatnot, it's a perfect product because you get a real quick reveal. This thing is coming up, it's getting thicker. I think I'll be mixing some more, won't I? Just sort of squish out when you push down on it.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I was just thinking if I cut off this other half, I might not be soaking it up, but it seems to be okay when you squish it down.
This is the best part.
Mm-hmm.
This is the closet for the man in this house. It's all walnut finished and everything, and then there's walnut trim around the door. And this is how we have the nice walnut door that we're going to install in front of it. It installs with a mechanism up here that lets you adjust the angle and the pitch and how far out it is, every which way, and you can do all the adjustments from up on top, which is really kind of amazing. So you can actually get the door in place. There's a pin on the ground that the bottom of the door has a track that we've machined into it. And so that fits on top of there. This fits in the top of the door, and then you adjust all the angles and whatnot so that you can get the door just to fit the way you want. You'll never see this. This is hidden. When it's open, the door comes to here and it's hidden. And when you close the door, it's over here, and this is still hidden at the top of the door. So it really is, I think it's called Magic Track or Magic Door, something like that. We'll see if it works for, the next 5, 10, 20 years. But for installation and all the tests we've done with it, it's pretty cool. So I wouldn't hold it by the handle.
Yeah.
We're not.
What we've had is you take it out, lean it flat, stand it up, walk it in. Okay, so Derek, we're going to come out here.
Yep.
Okay. And then you support your side.
Yep.
Here. And then a little roll. Stand. And then just sidestep it over.
And then your top piece came off.
Okay, so we're going to go a couple inches towards me first. Walk it in just before the pin. There we are. I actually can lift from this side as well.
Okay.
I can guide. You're going to lift straight up. And in. Yep. There we go. And that's where we take this, we push the heel out.
Yep, there you go.
And then I was gliding it back and forth, make sure that we weren't, one is pitching it towards the wall on the rear.
You don't
too
want
much.
to hit the wall after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That worked out fairly well.
Yeah.
It definitely helped with that template that you had. I don't think there's many things you can improve on that worked fairly smoothly.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. Not to mention that hardware is beautiful. Like the amount of adjustability for such a small piece of hardware,
Yeah.
at least from an installation perspective, I'm assuming machining, the accuracy was pretty
Well, it's
precise.
pretty easy. You just draw it in,
Just
in
data out the
in
backside.
CAD drawing, and then it all happens. But,
Yeah.
Beauty. I made a door.